Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Live. This is episode 457. Who hangs out with their ex? I'm one of your hosts, Brun BJ Swig33, and with me this week is Rob, also known as Presar.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, so, you know, nice. I sit there and actually, I don't need this. I have my other mic in for playing. Um, Sitting there thinking, I was like, man, what would I tell my wife? I was like, yeah, my ex is coming in on Tuesday and we're gonna hang out all night. Probably wouldn't go over very well. So, and but we have
Yo,
some
my
ex.
ex will be my number one priority.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So everybody, of course, we're this Xbox Life. We go live on Twitch every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll explain the 9:30 Eastern one here in a second. Um, and we go for about an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. Every time I say it's going to be a short show, ends up being a forever. So we might have a short show for you this week, but like I said, twitch.tv/ this Xbox Life, and then about Monday or Tuesday, as long as audio sounds good and Rob doesn't have much to work on. As far as fixing the audio. We usually drop the audio to your favorite podcasting systems, usually Monday or Tuesday. So,
Ish.
yeah, ish, exactly. So, Rob, can you check, make sure we can be heard on
I
stream?
heard you earlier.
Okay.
Right as I muted it.
You should hear yourself now. I see it bouncing. Um, so the reason why we're going back at 9:30 is starting at 9:30 is there's a massive storm with flash flooding and a whole bunch of stuff hitting my town here pretty soon. It's actually already started raining, and I've heard thunder and there's lightning. Now, of course,
Scary.
yeah, all my devices and everything are on surge protector battery backups. So even if my power does go out, I may still be here, but you'll hear
For
these
2 minutes.
loud, yeah, you'll hear these loud beeping. And that means I got to say, all right, everybody, that's it for today. And
That's a wrap.
that's a wrap. We're done right now. So that's how that kind of works. So, but we're gonna go as long as we can, and that's why we're starting early to try to beat the major part of the storm, which is supposed to hit in about an hour, hour and a half. So, but so before we get to Xbox One X stuff and all that fun stuff and community, we got some community stuff this week. What have you been playing, Rob?
Been playing the Insider game on the Xbox One, getting my achievements. I seem to do that every week and also see what's out there, what's new, what's purchasable. And I did play some Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. Oh my God. Oh my God. This game, well, it's cool. I love Wolfenstein. I've loved the last couple of them. They're amazing. But this game is just nuts. It is just you have not played this, have you, Brun?
No, I haven't played any of them.
Okay. Well, you're
So,
missing out. I want to say that first off.
okay.
So, do you remember what was it a couple of years ago when they had that? What was it? The COD where it was like here's some crazy stuff. You're a terrorist and you're killing people in an airport.
Yes. Yeah.
You remember that one
Yep.
and all the press that it got?
Yep.
And it was kind of like stepping into the side of like wrongness. Oh my
Right.
gosh. This beginning of this game is bonkers, not family friendly. Put your children in another room. Do
Oh,
not let
jeez.
them even see a tiny bit of this.
Wow.
Because I initially thought, I'm like, well, my son's getting a little older, and he knows that I like Wolfenstein and Dishonored, and I was thinking like maybe I can have him watch.
Right.
No, absolutely not. Not even no, 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 no. I'm not going to spoil it for people, but I mean, they cross so many lines in terms of, I guess, like just family members being brutally awful,
Okay.
like parents being awful to their children. There's some like racial stuff in there. Oh man, it's just crazy. But I mean, it sets up the story. I mean, I guess those times of the Nazis and stuff like that. That was different times. There's a lot of stuff that was, pretty crazy and offensive. Actually, there's a lot of offensive stuff. But the game is more of the Wolfenstein franchise, and it's great. It's got the same feel to it. It's just fantastic. It looks really, really good on my Xbox, and that's not even an HDR or anything right now. I mean, it looks amazing. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like on the X, where it's going to be stepped up another notch. But they did a great job on it so far.
Cool.
And I think that's all. Yeah, I believe that's all.
All
How
right.
about you, Brun?
Well, before I start, I want to say Stereo Sound 76 is our latest Twitch subscriber. So he's sub to Twitch Prime. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mine's simple. PUBG. I've been playing a ton of PUBG with a guy from work and his relatives and some of his relatives' friends and stuff. We always seem to finish where if we're not top 10 top 5 it's surprising, well, PUBG is one of those things. It's like you either die really quick or if you're able to survive maybe the first zone shrinking, we usually seem to hit the top 10 top 5. And we had a chicken dinner this week. We had a couple days ago. I mean, we seem to be getting a little bit better at it. So I think as far as first person squads in North America, like I'm ranked like 1,500 and something is my rank. As far as the lower the better. I'm not number one. I'm 1,500 and something. I think the other guys on my team are a lot lower than that, which is actually pretty good. So
Mhm.
been playing a lot of PUBG. Played the South Park demo of the new game that makes me want it even more. And then one of my kids plays a lot of Fortnite Battle Royale, and he's like, yeah, we got 4 second places in a row and then 3 first places in a row on squads. So they've been doing good on Fortnite. I will say that I finally played about 4 rounds of it, and it was like I just played solos, and on the second round I finished like 13th, and I just have trouble flipping those controls so fast because I just haven't played Fortnite. But I wish, and they might be able to. I'll have to find out. On Fortnite, you have your build tools. Like, there's no reason why I should have to. So when you hit end the build, you're automatically building walls. No, you're building floors. I think maybe it is walls. But what it's weird is like in Battle Royale, you build walls and you build stairs, like more than anything. And I
Mhm.
wish you could just have a quick flip button to build stairs, build walls. Like I don't like having to hit B and then Y to build stairs and then trigger. You know what I mean? It's like I don't like that. Where in PC it's like one button press and you're building walls, one button press you're doing this. But I haven't really yet played on PC because Epic still says that I have to create a secondary account
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm so aggravated about that. It's not even funny. But so played some battle royale on Xbox. But that is it for me.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention pretty quick is, I mean, I haven't really followed the whole PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds
Yep.
thing very very much. And extra credits. Do you ever watch them on YouTube?
No.
Yeah, they did a special on it. Maybe I'll post it in a Facebook group. But it was actually interesting. So extra credits, what they do is they're like a bunch of game designers, and they put some like flash-based animations up, and it's pretty cool. The analysis that they do on things is really neat, and it gives you a perspective that, as a gamer, you really don't know much about,
Okay.
because it's all the thoughts behind the games, and we're kind of like on the receiving end of the final product. But they talked about the whole premise of Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. That's kind of a tongue twister almost. Probably hard to say fast 10 times. But the the whole premise of it is it's actually like a thriller based game, which I mean most people probably wouldn't really consider. Do you know what I mean? Because the way that they explained it was that the game is tense from the standpoint of a couple of things. Number one, you get dropped in, right?
Right.
What is it? Like you and 100 people in this map? Is that how it
Yeah.
goes? Something like
Yeah.
that?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So you get dropped in this area. I mean, basically with nothing, and then you have to find your weapons and everything, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And it forces you to, search and find things and hide. Most importantly, it's like you really don't know who's around you.
Right.
And the way that they say is like it's like a thriller based game because of the tenseness that you normally don't get in most other games where it's like you're the hunter and you're being hunted and you hear stuff off in a distance. You know that stuff's going on, but you don't know kind of like where it really is.
Yeah.
And then when the field starts shrinking, then that also like ups like the tension in the game. And that analysis of it really intrigued me. And now before I kind of dismissed it, I'm kind of like, it's another first person shooter and I hate the first person shooter experience in games like Battlefield. Just because it's like spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. At least that's my experience.
Yeah.
And so that turned me off on a lot of these games. But this really sounds interesting. I mean, even I suppose they mentioned in there, like you could play the whole game without firing a shot and win. I'm like, okay, I guess that could happen.
You could. You could.
It's low percentage chance of it probably. I would imagine it would have to get down to 3 and the other 2 would have to like blow each other up simultaneously or something.
Pretty much. I mean, I remember my first solo round, I finished like 7th and I didn't shoot anybody.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good game. So for people who don't want to buy it on PC, don't buy it on PC. It's coming to Xbox. I can talk about that here in a minute when it's coming.
Yeah.
But I'll say definitely get it. And I think Rob actually posted somewhere where you Prime eligible.
Oh yeah.
So you can get it for like
$23.99. Yeah, I posted that earlier tonight. So if you're on our Facebook group and you're interested in this, you can get it from Amazon. There's our link. I posted a link to it in the forums, or not forums. that was Facebook. So what, 8 years ago, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
But on the Facebook group, I posted it on there. Use our link there if you could, because that's affiliated.
Yeah. So
for us,
we were affiliated with Amazon for the longest time, and then we weren't affiliated with them because something got messed up. But yet maybe we're still affiliated with them. So we're affiliated with Amazon. Please use our link. We're posting that back on the sites and stuff. So so we do appreciate it.
Absolutely, and you can save $6. You do get the digital version, so you get a card, I guess.
It's only digital.
It's not. It's not the physical disc.
Yeah, no physical, because this is early access, which disappoints me because I was hoping they'd get a 1.0 release. Unless the 1.0 release is coming on PC, because PC will always be ahead of Xbox when it comes to this game. Everything they're doing, like we get the desert map and stuff. I think we're getting the desert map and stuff on PC the same time it comes out on Xbox. I wanted to hit a 1.0 release because this game here should be game of the year. There is no question denying it, nothing. Any game in my mind that comes out where you have 10 million simultaneous players playing it, you have other companies ripping you off and releasing the exact, not the exact same game, but a very similar game, and you got clones. Other places trying to repeat your game or whatever, all within 6 months of you hitting it, and you're selling 11 million copies of it, plus whatever Xbox sells, and not even hitting release. if you hit release, that means you are game of the year. Like, I understand, because right now game of the year is either Zelda, Mario, or Horizon Zero Dawn. That's pretty much what everybody's saying game of the year
No,
is.
no, Splatoon 2 is
Well,
game of the year.
yeah, but in my mind, Zelda looks fantastic. Mario looks like it's fun as heck. Horizon Zero Dawn is fantastic. I love it.
Wait, which Mario are you talking about?
Mario Odyssey. So Mario
Okay,
Odyssey,
not the Rabbids one, right?
no, Mario Odyssey just came out, and it got a 10 from IGN. Of course, Zelda got a 10, but of course, I think IGN automatically gives a 1.5 points to any Nintendo game.
Hey, you know what else got a 10?
What's that?
The Double McRib.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Mark will know about that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just crazy that when it came out. But then I listened to another podcast. It's like, oh man, I had camera control issues, and the thing is Evie was playing it at Walmart on a Switch demo, and she had the exact same camera issue. The camera issue could not turn and see Mario, so she couldn't even see. All she saw was like the corner of his butt, and then he died, and we don't know what he died to, because the camera would not spin and do it. Like, I don't know how a game gets a 10 when you can't even see the character playing the game, but it did got a 10. So, but I haven't played it yet. Maybe it deserves it. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
But to me, PUBG game of the year. So.
Okay.
But all right, let's move on. So.
Hey, so actually, another quick question about that.
Okay.
So it's only available on Steam?
Yes.
Okay. And then the Xbox version, of course, is different. Is there any cross play between them? I forget what it's called.
Cross buy. It's not cross buy or cross save. It's not cross buy.
Right. But
cross
if you're
play,
on PC, yeah.
I don't know, but I will tell you, it would not be a good idea.
Oh, because of the.
There is some pinpoint finite, like I have to lower my DPI on my mouse, like sometimes to 600 to shoot people at a long distance. And this is a game where you do have to shoot people at a long distance. Like, you can't wait for them to run up on you. You're dead if you do. So I don't know. I mean, I know there's some really awesome people, but I would not want it. For one, I would not want Xbox players to play without like an aim assist. Like, I think aim assist is going to have to be in the game a little bit for that distance.
Yeah.
But then I don't think PC players will really want to play anybody with aim assists. And Xbox players won't want to play with PC players who can shoot them from half a mile away, or so many meters away. So, but that's not confirmed either. So I don't know the answer to that, but we'll have to see.
Okay.
But cool. Patreon, this Xbox Life thisxboxlife.com/Patreon if you'd like to become a patron of the show, or thisxboxlife.com/donate if you'd like to donate. We are also affiliated with Twitch, so if you're on Twitch right now and you're watching us, right up, I think this area right here, it should be a sub button. You could subscribe to TXL. If you're a Twitch Prime member, as we were talking about Amazon and stuff like that, you get one free Prime sub a month. You just have to remember to come and re-up those because they don't auto sub. And we also get cheer. I think
they're pointing straight at it, by the way.
Yeah, nice.
On my screen.
Yeah, I was looking over there. It's like, if I point just above my Ohio State painting, that's where the sub button is. So
well done.
Yeah. And also, we get cheer, and I think Twitch is doing something with cheer. Like, if you cheered up to 250 bits, you would get something, and I wasn't really following along with that. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for that. So, round table time, everybody. First thing, we just talked about PUBG, December 12th. December 12th is when it's coming to Xbox One. Perfect timing. They said it was going to come in December. The game is fantastic. For those who play Battle Royale, Fortnite Battle Royale, the games can both coexist at the same time. They are different enough where you can play both and have a great time with both. I would be playing more Battle Royale if I could play it on PC, I think, or if people were really into it on Xbox. But I haven't seen very many people playing it out of our groups, so I would like to play it if anybody's interested in going along and playing it. Um, but the games are they're similar, but they're different enough to where you can have a good time. They are both very, very fun. But yes, PUBG. And when it comes out to other consoles, I don't know. As of right now, it's Xbox only. So, which is cool. Next
Wait,
thing,
which
okay.
is Xbox only?
PUBG.
Oh, okay.
For now.
Yeah.
So, next thing I have, which is weird because like I think Amazon Prime Video is on Xbox One for us here in the US and a couple countries. But Amazon Prime Video is launching on Xbox One X, and it's going global at the same time on November 7th. So everybody will be able to do Amazon Prime Video through your Xbox. So for those people. And like I said, if you have Amazon Prime, which means you have Twitch Prime, you can sub to us right around here. Point back up to where it is. So, there's some. What's coming? What else is coming out? What's coming out on November 7th? Oh, Xbox One X. It is finally here, folks. I know Mark would love to be here right now. He is out of town. I'm sure he's
right.
Yes. I'm sure he's super excited. Rob, I'm sure you're super excited. You got your ship notice. I'm super excited for everybody.
You're living vicariously through everybody like normal.
Yeah, it's really fun now that it's actually here. I feel like it's been forever. I really don't like that they announced it a year ahead of time. You know, it's taken so long. You know, to go over. It's over a year and a half we've been waiting since they talked about it. But it's finally here. It's finally launching, and the stuff I've seen about it is exactly what they said it was going to be. And that it is phenomenal, and it is fast, and it does awesome, HD 4K, and the amount of that's all we've gotten for the last week is just plastered by from Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this game's getting updated. This game's getting updated. This game's getting updated. I mean, every game, and what was Quantum Break is trying to what was it, like 172 gig or some crazy amount for their game. Their update takes the game to like it's almost 200 gig. That's crazy now. Come on, folks. So, but
because as of I think yesterday, I only had Diablo. That was the only thing that got the update. Actually, let me check right now. See if
I wonder what that game's going to look like in 4K. Oh my goodness. The demons are going to look like they're really ripping out your souls. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, oh wow. Some more stuff came through.
Yeah. Like, of course, you've heard the games, and the thing is all I can tell anybody who's curious on, hopefully you're listening to this before November 7th, is go out there and look at them, and you can go out there and download them now. I'm pretty sure everybody who has an Xbox One coming is pretty up to date on what's going on. A couple of things that I wanted to mention to you, Rob, to see what you thought is, I was listening to Podcast Unlocked, and they started the concept for the X in 2012.
So 5 years?
Yeah, they've been working on the Xbox One X that long. Like, they were working on it prior to the Xbox One launching, which we all know that they do things like that. But I think it's just crazy that that's what they wanted to do. And I highly recommend go out and listening to the Podcast Unlocked when they go and talk about that stuff, because it's really interesting. He goes into like, it was 2012. We do this and this. And they talked about, will you be able to get one? And it was basically like, well, if you pre-ordered, you're going to get yours. But if you haven't, we're releasing batches every week. Like we're constant releasing. And he even said we're not going to create any false demand. We're not going to do this. We are pumping them out. He did say if you do see them on shelves and you want one, buy it. There will not be any Black Friday deals, from Microsoft. Like there won't be any deals. So don't try to hold up and wait for Black Friday deals, because based on what he was saying is there isn't going to be any. It's not going to be there. Now, if a store wants to go ahead and do it, I guess they can. If Amazon wants to do it, they can. Microsoft is still getting their full amount of money. But basically he's saying, nope, if you want it, you see it, buy it, because, they have sold a lot of them already. So, which is good news.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very surprised on the 2012.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times people thinking that they were doing it because of the position they were in this console race or the fake race or whatever it is. And it's like, nope, they were building this in 2012 before that all came out. And Dan Matrick, who is the guy that I really don't care for, he was still running the show when they were starting to talk about this. So, it was even prior to Phil Spencer taking over, which is crazy. So, I know we have somebody in our community who was just like, we don't need the X, Phil Spencer, blah, 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 blah. Hey, this wasn't Phil Spencer. This was the guy before Phil Spencer. So that's really interesting.
So, I mean, when did 4K first come out?
See, they go over that. They're like, why 4K? Did you guys bet on that? Did you know about that? And they're like, well, we saw the trend, because at the time they were doing that, 3D was still being talked about.
Yeah.
And of course 3D's dead, and they talked about VR, and it's like, well, look at VR. And I mean, we've had discussions about VR, a lot of them, and even though VR is cool and everything, to me it was going to be a complete waste. It was going to die. And how's VR doing? It's doing okay, right? In all honesty, it's doing all right. I don't know how PlayStation VR is doing, but
they sold a lot, but that doesn't mean that a lot are being used.
Right. Yeah, true. So, but yeah, I always thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Some other cool stuff that just released. So, I do not know why. Okay. Hear me out. Let me give you a scenario, Rob. How about that?
Okay. What's that?
Here's a scenario. I'm going to be Mr. PlayStation diehard fan. Microsoft is horrible. We're number one. Okay. Hey man, are you going to buy an Xbox One X? No, because you don't have a 4K TV, and all it does is 1080p. Like you remember those whole discussions.
Yeah.
Like, why would I buy it? I don't have a 4K TV. Well, play it on 1080p. It's like, well, I play mine on my computer. Like, I play mine on my computer. Oh, I play mine on my computer, and I got a nice 1440p monitor, and it only does 1080 and blah blah blah. I'm not going to buy it because I don't have a blah 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 blah. Something like that. I don't know why. I do not know why.
Nice.
Microsoft did not announce this.
Were you
months
doing a Dracula
ago.
impersonation?
No. Blah blah blah. Okay. I want to take your peas.
That's the count.
Yeah. 1 teraflop.
2 teraflops.
Two teraflops. Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Gunny? Gunny just popped in. So, I don't know why they didn't announce this months ago, because I promise you they probably would have sold a little bit more. For people like me who play mine, I have mine hooked up on my PC. I do that so I can stream through my computer and such. And a lot of big gamers, a lot of Twitch streamers and stuff, they do that. That's what they do. The game will play, if you have it hooked up to a 1440 monitor, 144 hertz, 1440p, it will play native 1440 on those monitors, which is awesome. I was just like, why did you not? I'm like, this keeps getting better, because there's people who are borderline, I don't have a 4K monitor, I don't have a 4K TV, oh, I got this, 1440. People at work were just like, it doesn't have 1440 now? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, I'm going to go get one because that's how I have 1440 monitors, which I was like, wow, that must be nice. But that's crazy that now it does that. And I think that is fantastic. And I wish they would have said that months ago. Because maybe it's something he just got working. And, you don't want to say something that you have something and it not work. But that just came out last week. They said it would run on 1440 at 1440. So,
Oh yeah.
It makes 1080p look better. It runs native 4K. Also checkerboard 4K. I think that's really up to the developer at that point. But it'll also run on PCs, those beautiful 1440p, 144 hertz monitors. Now, I don't know if it runs at 144 hertz, but I do know it runs at that resolution, which is awesome. That's going to be very, very cool. So, did you read that article? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Do you have a 1440 or are you just 1080 like me?
I have no idea what I have here.
Okay. I would say you're 1080. So,
I mean, look at him. I have no idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that's super awesome. So, but what do you
Windows
got here?
10. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
Where's the settings? Oh, I hate this new settings thing. Yeah. I want the old one. No, it's 1080.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's articles out there for preparing yourself for the Xbox One X. Like I said, you're down within 2 days from now. I'm pretty sure everybody's caught up, but
yeah,
just the list of games that you're getting is going to be neat. Some of the other stuff that got announced is like, oh, look, score big with new NFL customization options on the Xbox Design Lab. So that when you design your own controller, you can put your favorite football team on there.
Oh yeah,
which is cool. But what do you have? You have something Halo Wars related, right? It's a good game.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to add. I just checked my console here, and in addition to Diablo 3, I have the assets for Rise of the Tomb Raider and Slime Rancher.
Ooh, Slime Rancher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Cornbread's favorite game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gonna love me for that. I haven't.
So I played Slime Rancher, and okay, so they added the assets for this thing. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, what? I don't know.
Don't ask yourself why. Don't ask them why. Ask if it really means a lot to Cornbread, because he loves that game. It's his favorite game.
Yes.
I tried to get him to play Battlefield 1 a couple days ago because I haven't been playing Battlefield 1. I need to get back to it. Hey, you want to play Battlefield 1? He couldn't do it. He's like, watching a movie, going to play Slime Rancher. I mean, it was crazy. So
now Slime Rancher takes up 1 gig.
Well,
1 gig of space.
Okay.
I don't remember how much it did before. Let me see. If I go to uninstall, that's uninstall everything. I wish you could turn 4K assets off for certain games. Maybe that's something that they can add. Oh, and it doesn't say how big it is in the store. I don't know. That's a lot. This is going to be uninstalled. And by the way, I heard this thing. I think it was from Paul Thurrott on the Windows Weekly show. He was talking about when you're in the store, not in the store, when you're looking at games and apps, you can select the game and then you hit left bumper, right bumper, and then what the hamburger button and the 2 window button, what are they called?
I don't know.
No, the 2 buttons on
back and start.
No, back and select.
Back, yeah.
Whatever the 2 buttons are called. The hamburger one is on the right. Yeah. And then let me see. Can you see my controller?
Yeah. Yeah. It used to be the back and the start button.
Yeah, I forget.
Those
select
2.
Or whatever, yeah.
Okay.
So you hit all 4 of those, right?
Right.
So you hit them all simultaneously, which is challenging in itself.
Yes.
So you hit them all 4 and you release, and then it gives you some pretty cool information. Well, actually, it's not pretty cool. I mean, it makes no since a lot of it doesn't, because it's all just identifiers, those GUIDs, GUIDs, or whatever you want to call them. So like here, I chose Tomb Raider, and then it gives like content ID, product ID, device ID, console type. On some of them, it actually tells you when it was first installed. So like I installed Tomb Raider 2 on November 9th, 2015. And it says in there assets installed. And so on here, I have Xbox Durango and Xbox Scorpio. So it tells you if the assets are installed for a game. You sent me a message.
I know. I just wrote hi to you.
Yeah.
It says you're on the store. I was messaging Cordbread telling him
Yeah.
how much he loves Slime Rancher. So but
Yeah, so Diablo 3 is a little different, which is interesting because it got installed on August 2016. It got updated October 25th, 2017, and it doesn't show that it has assets installed, but it shows console type X1 XE, Xbox One XE for enhanced is true. I don't know. But anyway, it's something interesting to see. You sort of feel like you're in some kind of weird service mode and you're seeing something you shouldn't be seeing
right.
if you do that. But yeah, it's something you can just tinker around with.
Cool.
So yeah, I got 3 things in my list now. And one of them is jipping me out of a terabyte or a gig of space.
Right. Hey, thanks for the follow, by the way, Ben. We appreciate it. So hopefully I can call you Ben for short. So. Did you already talk about Halo Wars 2?
No.
Okay, go for it.
I got sidetracked on my Xbox One X assets escapade here.
Yep.
So one thing that just recently got off the ground was if you have Halo Wars 2, they just recently enabled the November 2nd patch added crossplay for Xbox One and Windows. So you can be annihilated by PC players, I guess.
Yeah. Annihilate me, PC players.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
they added the patch added a bunch of other stuff, some campaign stuff, firefights, custom games, bunch of other stuff. But I think the crossplay is something that is probably the most outstanding out of all the features.
All right.
Okay, and then there was an addition to the Xbox One backwards compatibility. They added Deadly Premonition.
Okay.
People, I guess, like this game a lot.
Yeah. Drano85, thank you very much for the sub. Just subbed for 3 months in a row. We appreciate it. Thank you. 3 months in a row.
Yeah, this game was one of the games that was directed by that Swery65 guy. Didn't he do the Dark Dreams Don't Die? Yes, D4, okay. Dark Dreams Don't Die.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Okay, and then a little bit of a recap of some of the news. I won't go into the Xbox One X news because that's been dominating the past week.
Yes, it's all we have gotten.
That's like a Mortal Kombat thing, where it just dominates. The news dominates.
All right.
So this is a couple of things that you might have missed because you've been reading too much Xbox One X news, and that's we already talked about PUBG. So it's coming out on the 12th. This is kind of interesting. So Call of Duty World War II, like it or hate it, I don't know. But Microsoft is giving gamers a challenge, an achievement challenge.
Okay.
If the community gets 25 million achievements, by November 7th, then Microsoft is going to donate 500,000 to the Call of Duty Endowment. It's a charity that prepares veterans to get back out in the world and land jobs.
Mm-hmm. Which is cool.
Yeah. So let's see. I don't quite know. Let me see if we have the stats here, because yeah, I don't know what the stats are currently. But yeah, there's 2 days left. And as of 2 days ago, so that would be, what's today? Today's the 5th. As of the 3rd, there were less than 5,000 achievements. So it's not looking good unless people really amped it up over the weekend. Although probably more people played over the weekend, right?
Maybe.
Oh, and you might have to. Oh, there's also a bonus where the Microsoft is also having sweepstakes for it as well. The sweepstakes, you have to log into the Xbox, of course, and then select to opt in on the Xbox One Rally the Troops billboard, and then play. So you get some prizes.
Yeah, it reminds me. Have you guys seen on the Mountain Dew and Doritos and stuff? They're doing something. It says every60seconds.com. So it's like you put in a code from a Mountain Dew and you get like 100 points. And then it looks like what they're going to do is start auctioning, like open up an auction at every 60 seconds, like an auction ends, and you can bid with your points that you get. It's funny because I watch, like, each time you drink a Mountain Dew, you get 100 points. And I kind of laugh because in their example video of like how it's going to work, somebody's like, oh, I'm going to put a bid in for 50,000 points. I'm like, who has a chance to drink 500 Mountain Dews? And if you to win an Xbox One or something like that, because 500 Mountain Dews is almost $2 a pop. Like, oh, you want me to spend $1,000 in Mountain Dew to win a $499 Xbox One? Oh, what, you think I'm crazy? So I just thought that was interesting if you guys see that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and the game buying games for game gifting or sharing is live now, right?
For everybody, I think.
For
Right?
everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that post. Somebody posted that, and I'm like, is this where I post my wish list for people to send? But all right, continue with your recap. Sorry.
Yeah. So according to the promotional site on Xbox.com, there's only 4.7 million achievements unlocked, but I don't know if it's updated or when that was current. So, okay. And then let's see, what else did we have? Wasn't a whole lot. Oh, and this is kind of crossing into the Xbox One X news territory. Panos Panay, he's the head of devices over at Microsoft. He said that demand for Xbox One X is super high. And they're not going to talk about exact numbers, but just demand is super high.
Yeah, and anything that's kind of what I was saying earlier is like the person was just like, if you see one, you want one, get one. Yeah, it's that's good. That's good. I mean, of course, we don't know. Demand's super high, so it's not exactly, what they're making, but that's good. Awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, everybody, Cornbread is in, and he just popped in. I messaged him talking about. It's like, hey, like, hurry, Cornbread, we're talking about Slime Rancher, and he's like, I'll be there in a minute. And I think he was actually playing a game, and you never know.
Slime Rancher.
Yeah, it was a different game, but
yeah.
So Cornbread, we were talking about Slime Rancher, and we thought of you because it's getting an Xbox One update, so it'll be about a gig, but you'll get some awesome 4K assets with your Xbox One. So congratulations. We know you're excited. Uh, but all right, it's community time. It's about 10:30. I'm hoping my power's staying on. So if you go to thisxboxlife.com and you click on the right hand side, you can send us a voicemail. Now we got 2 voicemails this week that we're going to play here in a minute. But before I do that, I just want to go through the whole community thing. So that's where you can send us a voicemail. You can also send us a voicemail just by emailing us an MP3 or whatever, which is how one of them happened this week. So we actually had one coming from the site, one coming from an email. Our email is contact@thisxboxlife. You can also send questions in there. If you go to our website, though, we do have a contact button up in the top right as you're looking at it. It says contact. It has a form that you can fill in, and that sends it directly to us as well. And we have one of those this week. So let's play those right now. So the first one here is from CatFlap1970. So here we go.
Good morning, gentlemen. CatFlap1970 here. Yes, I'm afraid to say my Xbox One X fund has been spent. I bought myself a nice projector in preparation for Battlefront and Red Dead 2. The Optima GT 1080e. Lovely device, perfect for large size gaming, I'm pleased to say. Excellent. But I now might have to go to replenish the Xbox X fund. Have any of you other guys got a projector and play on a huge screen? It really does help with certain games like Forza. You really sort of like get sunk into the atmosphere of the game. Done a little YouTube video on it as well for a review for how many lumens and stuff. So if you guys want to have a look, it's available to have a look at. Happy days, gentlemen. Good show as always.
So very cool. I have not gotten a projector at all. I know if the house that I moved into, it's got a large building off the side. Like if we would finish that or convert that, we would probably put a projector in there on the side of the wall, which would be pretty cool. But I do know multiple people that have used projectors, so I'm pretty jealous on that one. So Rob, do you have a projector?
I do.
Okay.
I don't use it, but I used to have it in days prior where I had a home theater, and then it turned into a nursery, and then my son's room. But it was an older projector, and it was awesome. I had a custom-made screen, and when I say custom-made, I mean I made it myself cheaply. Using stuff that I got at Home Depot. There's a lot of interesting ways to build screens back then because screen cloth is very expensive, or the screens are very expensive because, I mean, I don't know if anything's changed, but the ideal screen is actually not white. It's actually a shade of gray because, you want the blacks to be black and, the colors not to be, super bright and all. But, Wing and I, we talked about it a couple of times on the show here because when he would come over, we used to play. I remember playing COD and the original Xbox on it, and it was fantastic. It was just awesome. The screen was actually, I think, 100 and what was it? I think it might have been 100 inches or just slightly over. It was massive. It was 4x3. It was not the widescreen. But, I'm sure that the projectors have come a long way in the past 10 years since I got it, because I really struggled with heat. It would really heat up the room. There was a definite fan noise because I had it ceiling mounted. And that's something that Cat Flap might want to do is if you have a light controlled room, you can ceiling mount them. And there's companies that sell those. As long as you can get the cabling to it, that really makes it really nice where, it's above your head or behind. Ideally, it's behind you and it shines down in front. So then that way you don't have to worry about it being, let's say, on a shelf or on a table or something behind you. But yeah, projectors are very cool. as long as you can control the light and the heat and the noise, I guess, if there's noticeable fan noise on.
Cool. The cornbread subbed to us using, I believe, Twitch Prime. I don't know
Excellent.
if he hit his share button to send the notification off, or if our notifications are broken. But he also cheered us 100 bits. So thank you for the bits. We appreciate it. All right. Our next message here is from Richard and Andrew. Everybody remembers our Australian friends. This is about 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes long. They went to PAX East in Australia, and they were able to interview the Xbox console lead for Australia. So we're going to play what they sent into us because they were nice enough to put it together, and they've always been really good to us. So let's play that right now.
Are you revved up for the new Xbox?
Richard, I'm revved up for the new X, and we're at PAX East in Melbourne today. And isn't Microsoft crowing about its new product?
All across Australia. Last minute decision, a novel marketing strategy was opened up for the Sydney CBD.
That's right, they dub it the Xbox Stay and Play, where what they've done is put together some shipping containers and created essentially a lounge with 4 private rooms, each decked out with big 4K television, Dolby Atmos headsets, and Xbox One X games as well. Wouldn't you just love to be there?
2 stories high, wall-to-wall mirrors and glass.
And nerds. Richard, we were lucky today to talk with the console lead for Microsoft in Australia.
Not often that I talk to a man about art, but I've asked him what the colour palettes are that would give the Xbox One X its signature look. I said to him, well, Xbox 360 was your military greens and blacks of your, and greys of Gears of War.
And that's right, and then Sunset Overdrive came out.
Gelati is how I described it, and he didn't even wince. So what colour palette are we looking at for the Xbox One X? And he drew us across to a number of children's games.
That's right, there's a number of children's games which are listed, and really what he wanted to say to us was that it's not going to be primarily an adults gaming console, it's something which is designed for the complete family.
Still keeping its Western Hemisphere focus.
Yeah, more Occidental than Oriental for sure in their market.
Still your drivers, your shooters, your adventure, and children's games. And in order to reinforce this, presentation packs that were given to podcasters also had a UHD to continue the focus on the one brand, the one media center.
I was in Hawaii last week and went to the Microsoft stores and saw them promoting the Xbox in their stores, so really wrapping the product up in the Microsoft brand. And at the display today in PAX, we've come across really a buffet of technologies, all of them wrapped around in the Microsoft banner, including the S, the X, PCs, and also standard X grades Xbox games which are upgraded for the Xbox X.
That's just it, all shoulder to shoulder, whereas everything for PlayStation today was the PS4 Pro by default. There wasn't a graded entry level for you to come in. Microsoft were pushing very hard Forza 7 as its flagship, and without doubt that was looking beautiful. They suggested to us that Assassin's Creed was also a thing of note. However, Ubisoft themselves were playing that across all platforms today, your PCs and your PS Pros as well.
So Microsoft is focusing on the family and also on the brand, whereas Sony, on the other hand, was focusing on virtual reality, their intellectual properties, and also different means of controlling games. We sat down and had a game where we got to use Sony portable phones, which was actually a lot of fun.
4 guys on the couch, each with their own phone, holding it like you'd hold a Wii controller, skating around on a platform and having a collision game.
So, Richard, to sum it up, it's great that we're finally back in the fight. I feel like Popeye who's finally got his stash of spinach, and I'm spoiling for this.
Gentlemen of the panel, the crowd seemed more enthused today by VR, by dance motion, and by intellectual property. Do you think that Microsoft have got it right this time?
Well, okay. good. Well, thank you for doing that for us, guys. We do appreciate it, and I think it's really cool that you're able to visit and interview. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
As far as do I think Microsoft has it right? I think there's this point in time where, and we still do it, and it's okay, I think, to do it. But I've said it a couple times, like I want him to get back to the basics. The Wii came out and is awesome, and it's like, oh, we need motion controls. So it was like, okay, let's do motion controls, and then we had the Kinect, which is now completely done for. It's dead. And we've kind of seen that, and they tried, and what happened. And then there's the whole VR, and I just kind of mentioned earlier, it's like, yeah, VR is doing well, but is it doing well? I mean, it's not as...
It's there.
It's there, but it's not like, oh, there's VR, like, oh, let's see what Sony's going to do, let's this, and for people that are excited for VR, good. I haven't been following it, so I don't know the life of it. As far as the dance motion stuff, I think that died with the Kinect. So as far as if Microsoft has it right and what they're doing with the X, absolutely, because I think they're going back to the basics, and keyboard and mouse or a controller in hand, playing, RPGs, adventure games, first-person shooters, racing games, things like that, like getting back to just playing games where they look beautiful, run amazingly, run amazing. And it's just fun. I just want to have fun. And in my opinion, strapping a bunch of stuff on me isn't maybe fun for a little bit, but I just always end up going back to those basics. And I think Microsoft has got it right. They're putting money and putting power where they want to. And as far as like they're upping the graphics, making everything look better, run quicker. But that's my opinion. I think they've got it right, even with them not targeting what the individuals were excited for. So, Rob, you?
Well, for me, it's kind of a tough thing to answer because, do they have it right? I don't know if it's right, but it's what works. Kind of along the lines of what you were saying, Brun, because, they've taken risks in the past. Well, the biggest risk, of course, was the Kinect. But you look at any of the peripherals that have come out for just about any system, whether it's been light guns, whether it's been, remember those mats for the dance games?
Yeah.
That you like unroll onto the floor, and then, you have your controller down, your controller, it's the Dance Revolution controllers. Basically, like that, Dreamcast had a bunch of cool ones too, where like they had Samba de Amigo had these like little maracas things.
Yeah.
And, all of those were kind of fads or one-offs.
Yeah.
The thing that stuck through the entire time is just the regular controller. That works for PC gaming. The mouse and the keyboard, It works. And even for that, they have all the specialty controllers. Like you have your flight sticks, your steering wheels. They have those like really funky specialized controllers, like for StarCraft. I mean, they're like almost like a number keypad. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yep.
It's like they have all of these special controllers, but keyboard, mouse, and even on PC, the regular Xbox controller is what people use.
And VR may take off even more than what it is. That's the saying. It's like, I think it's doing well.
Yeah.
But it kind of plateaued a little bit. It just might be a slow burn. Like, if people just stick with it for a little bit longer, it might be fine. Like Kinect, they did Kinect for what? Like 5-6 years? How long we've had a Kinect?
But the support for it's been pretty sucky though.
What, for
that's
VR?
No, for Kinect.
Well, that's I understand.
They didn't follow through. They didn't follow through. And
Yeah, to
You
me
know,
that was one of their failures. But I'm saying just for VR, I think it's still going to be a part of gaming in the future, and I think it's just got it's going to have a longer life, or a longer uphill climb. It's not an instant like boom, like Wii motion controls when the Wii came out and Wii Sports. Like that was instant, bam. You know, everybody's got to copy this because it literally just took on and went all the way up here. Now you got people playing a Switch and they're frustrated when there's stupid motion controls on in the Switch. Like people are frustrated by it. But VR may do that. But the other thing I wanted to say, and as you were talking, Rob, and was, I'm glad people are trying things though. Like I don't want them not to
on
do
a large
anything.
scale.
Yes, yeah. I'd rather them try something and fail. You know, with you know, PlayStation VR, if it doesn't do well, I don't want it to fail. I'm glad they're trying it. You know, with Kinect, I'm glad Microsoft has tried it, and even though it's failed or whatever their stuff has done, it's just like I'm glad they're trying, because I'd rather them try and fail and then not try at all and not try to move gaming, because nobody knows what the next big thing in gaming is going to be. But if it just stays controller and keyboard and mouse, we know we're never going to go anywhere.
Right.
So as long as they keep trying and failing, I'm cool with that. I think that's awesome. You know, I'm never going to look bad at a failure. I mean, Microsoft's failed at a number of things. Like, will they try to do another Windows Phone? But you mean Sony's failed at things too. I mean, they failed at a number of things. Like a lot of people, like they're giving up on
Oh, you mean everything except insurance?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No.
like with Sony, it's the Vita. Like people love the Vita, and they are just ignoring it, and they're actually the ones causing it to fail. Like they're the ones that are killing the Vita, because there are a lot of Vita people out there. So it's sad. So, but
Yeah. And now I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Oh, what the heck was it? Oh, it was about VR. I mean, I don't want to turn this into a long discussion about VR because we've had so many of them in the past. But for me, I mean, I have a Gear VR. So, you know, I haven't played Oculus and, you know, the Vive and all those other ones. But I can tell you from the Gear VR and my phone perspective, the nausea is like immediate. And it is, if I push myself just a little bit, like, well, let me just suck it up for, you know, a little bit here. I mean, it goes from, ooh, I'm not feeling so good, to I'm going to be jacked up for the next 5 hours. I mean, that's how, because nausea just it takes so long to subside. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you get motion sickness or anything at all, Brun?
Yes, I do now in certain cases, and I get car
Yeah.
sick very easy. So
Yeah. So, like, is it like if you're reading in the car? Is that how?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, for me, the car sickness is like, I can't even read a sentence. Well, I guess it depends on how we're moving, but if I'm reading like a sentence or even a partial paragraph or something like that, I'll immediately get the queasiness. And like I said, if you push that, I mean, it can take a while. I mean, a couple of hours for it to totally go away. Do you get the same thing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
do.
it is
It'll ruin my day. Like if
Oh,
it
yeah.
happens early on, I'll be done for the day. Like,
oh yeah.
I won't be
I
able to
mean,
drive in a car or anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's how it is. Like, I remember one time when I first got my Gear VR, I was doing the roller coaster simulations. Oh, that is just a horrible idea. That is a horrible idea. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. You get that feeling like, oh, I'm gonna go down the hill, you know, the first drop. But man, it is such a bad situation afterwards. So that is my fear with VR. I don't know if they can overcome that. And, you know, like I said, I've never tried the game ones. My understanding, or the PC ones or the Sony one, But my understanding is if there's any motion, that's what triggers it. If you're sitting there still, like if you're standing in the middle of a room and then zombies or whatever are coming at you, you can shoot them and that's okay. But as soon as you're like walking through, let's say a building, oh, it's all over. It just, where your mind doesn't, I forgot how it was explained, where it's like your eyes see the movement and your inner ear doesn't register it. There's that disconnect.
Mhm.
And then it's like your body thinks that you've been poisoned or whatever. And then it reacts by nausea to throw up whatever,
Right.
supposedly, whatever bad berries you ate or something. But yeah, well, going back to the original question, I went off on a huge tangent here. I think they're definitely doing the safe bet. They're taking something which worked really well. They're stepping it up, and it's they're doing right by what's in their wheelhouse, and I mean that's a good thing. That's what they should do.
Right.
I agree with what you said, Bron. They should take risks here and there, but they shouldn't bet the farm on it.
No.
And maybe one day we'll have something that's like the next revolutionary controller or system. We just know it wasn't Kinect. It wasn't steering wheel. It wasn't
Yeah.
the dance pad. But it's like the Xbox One controller. It's a fantastic controller.
Yep.
And they one-upped it with the Elite, which I would have thought that by now the Elite would have been more standard. Some of the features in it would have been standard.
Right.
Actually, that's a good question for you, Brun.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be an Elite 2 now that the Xbox One X is out? Soon? Almost.
No, because I don't think you can really put any more stuff into the Elite. Oh, besides making it maybe Bluetooth or whatever. But I like your statement before. It's like, I don't know why that's just not the standard controller.
Yeah.
The Elite should become the standard.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, it'd be really nice. So they are nice controllers.
Yes, I mean they can get rid of like the attaching of the thumbstick thing. I mean, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I don't even use the other ones. Some of them are just way too high.
Yeah, they could get rid of that, but just the feel of it,
Yeah.
the weight of it, the solidness of it. I mean, I don't even use the thumb guys underneath much anymore, but I mean, otherwise it's fantastic. They should have an
Yeah.
upgrade.
Yeah, I got my paddles. I use my paddles like crazy. These are my Battlefield paddles, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can toss med kits and everything. I don't even have to take my fingers off the.
Oh,
I can toss a med kit and be aiming down sights and get ready to shoot somebody. So,
Mhm.
because taking your finger off you either have to slide your thumb over. So, little pro tip. If you're here aiming, and if you just slide your thumb over, you can still aim and hit this side. And then when you're using your other thumb, you can slide it down and hit the other way, because the left and right on the D-pad are what switches you between your syringe and stuff like that. Well, mine are these two right here. So I'll toss med kits with my pinky, where I never have to take my fingers off my thumbstick and my aiming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't need to. And then my reloads, like, I know A's jumping and stuff, but my reload buttons, which are X and Y, are up higher. So I just use the smaller pads on the bottom up for that. So
yeah.
But yeah. What's Cornbread say? I have to stop and then pull out my med kit. Yeah, so it kills me all the time. Yeah, that's my secret with mine, man. I'll just toss, and I have it for support all the time. Like, it took me a good day or two, I would say. In all honesty, it took a day or two for me to get used to that. But now it's just like I can just chuck them all the time just by flipping my fingers. Like I can do it right now just by moving my things. So it's that's how I do that. So, but all right. So the next thing, I'm actually accidentally flipping scenes on everybody. Next thing is an email. Do you want to go and read the email there?
Sure.
Yep.
So this is from For Right Now 76. Good afternoon. I was listening to episode 456. Oh, that's the one before this one. And I agree with Rob about increasing the price of newly released games. However, I sadly don't believe microtransactions and loot boxes are going away and will only get worse over time. NBA 2K18 is catching a lot of heat this season for their microtransaction business model to the point that it's affecting their overall metric score. To me, NBA 2K18 is the testing ground to determine what consumers are willing to pay while other companies quietly watch, especially considering that NBA 2K is owned by Take-Two, who owns Rockstar, who owns GTA, and the upcoming Red Dead Redemption. As much as I like the idea of the $20 increase and getting all the additional content, the increase will never overcome the revenue that's generated purely on microtransactions. If anything, I could see game companies decreasing game prices by $10 to increase the fan base, but then designing the game in a manner where players are compelled to sink additional money to be competitive in online matches.
Yeah, with my thing about the $10 increase, it's like I would prefer $10 increase, or sorry, 60 to 80, $20 increase, to remove microtransactions. Now, if microtransactions want to be skins or outfits that have no impact on the game to where I don't have to worry about it at all, then fine, keep them in there. But yes, the ones where it's like, oh, you want the best hockey stick? I always go back to hockey. It's like you could either play 65 seasons, which will take you about 17 months, or you just give us $2.99. You know, it's that crazy. Like if it was play 10 games and get it, or pay us $2.99, that's something. But it was literally going to take me months upon months of playing nothing but NHL to get that one hockey stick, or give them $2.99. So they did it on purpose, and that's dirty. I mean, that's there. I would not like the thing of lowering it $10 to increase, because in all honesty, what's going to happen is people sit back like me. Like I don't buy games on day one anymore. Like I want to play Battlefront 2, but they've already caught heat, and they're like, "Oh, we changed it. You know, we've listened to everybody, and we've changed it." And it's like, yeah, but did you change it, or did you just undo some things you were going to do? Or so now it's like, well, I'm going to sit back and see what it's really about. I'm going to see how people talk about it, and then I'll decide to buy. Because what you're going to see is somebody's going to is like, oh, it's $60, and then they're going to be like, well, we got microtransactions, and people are going to be like, nope, not getting it. And then those people are going to wish they took the $20 and took it out. So I don't know. It's going to go one way or the other. But you know, we just had there was another studio that just got shut down. I forgot to put that in the story. There was another studio that just got shut down. Or no, wait, they didn't get shut down. It was it was a company that made the free-to-play game on PlayStation. It wasn't free-to-play, but it was a free game during launch. And it was like an arcade-type game. But they're like not making those games anymore. Maybe it was another studio closed down. I can't remember off the top of my head. This was a couple days ago. But the whole thing is they didn't get shut down. They're changing what games they're building because they need to look into making a game that is a games of service type game. So it's like every game now is going to be games of service. Like we're not going to get any good single player story games. We're not going to get any of that because everybody's got to make a games of service game, which is essentially keep sinking money into it. And one of those times it's going to blow up in somebody's face. So, but thank you for the email. We do appreciate it. What do you think, Rob? I mean, any different?
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I don't like where it's going. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just going to go that way. I mean, the mobile games prove that this works.
Yeah.
Microtransactions, it's a different kind of impulse buy. It's not just impulse buying a game, which is what we're used to. Now that we have the digital content out there, it's more like, depending on the game, it's like, do you want to wait or do you want it right now? Look, it's only $5,
Right.
but it's only $5 every other week, and that adds up.
Yeah, I just don't want to get to the point where it's like, we don't lock the last level under microtransactions, but we're going to lock the last upgrade that you need to even beat the last level, unless you feel like playing 3 hours to beat the last boss. But we'll give you the last slot for $4.99 that you could beat the last boss in, let's say, 20 minutes, like a normal time. But we're gonna make it harder to beat the last boss unless you give us $4.99. So, but yeah. All right. Oh, maybe. So, a couple other things. You can reach us on Twitter. It's thisxboxlife.com/Twitter. This Xbox Life is our Twitter handle. We also have a Facebook group, which is thisxboxlife.com/Facebook. It's a closed group, but that's where most of us hang out and chat and share things, information, codes. Some people give out games, ask questions. I think actually there was a question in our Facebook just a little bit ago. And sorry, I don't mean to do this on the fly, but I think they're asking which game. Who else has a date with their ex? See, and that's I kind of stole the name of the show off you, Andrew. That's actually Andrew from the Sunburnt Life. It says who else has a date with their ex this week? What game is it? What is the game to showcase it? ? So, what game are you gonna play first, Rob?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. Okay.
So I have it already.
Yeah. So, and I'm not getting one. So.
Well, when you get one,
when I get one,
you will.
Right. It'll probably be like, Battlefield or Halo or Gears or something like that, I would assume. So, but all right, that's our Facebook group. What do we got coming out this week, Rob?
Oh, where was that?
I used Metacritic
Crazy
this
list.
time.
Yeah, that's
yeah. So our games this week's a little different because the normal place we go just didn't post any update this week, which is a Microsoft site, because they were just posting nothing but Xbox One X stuff. So
actually, we could go with that. What's coming out this week? Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Do you need anything else?
Yeah. There's a long list in this thing, though.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I don't know how much I believe a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
It just seems too much, but we'll go over it anyway. So on November 7th, there's a whole bunch of stuff, including Hand of Fate 2. Hand of Fate 1 was pretty cool. I like that game. Outcast, Second Contact, Need for Speed Payback, and I believe that one is already playable this weekend if you had EA access, right? Don't you get like 5-day early?
Yeah, it's usually a week or so. Or maybe like 3 days or so, yeah.
And then Super Lucky's Tale. I'm actually interested in checking this one out. I like the look of that game. It looks kind of cool. Sonic Forces Episode Shadow. America's Greatest Game Shows, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. That's a mouthful right there. The Elder Scrolls Online, Clockwork City. Then Jeopardy on its own, Wheel of Fortune on its own, Hitman Game of the Year edition. Isn't this out already?
I don't think not the Game of the Year edition.
Oh, okay. Assault Android Cactus, Sonic Forces, 911 Operator, Siberia 3, and Automaton with a Plan, Whoopo, and that is it.
All
Yeah, the rest is all the following week.
Cool.
So it's a fairly extensive list over there. A couple decent things in there. Games with Gold recently switched over this past week. For Xbox One, we have a continuation of the Turing Test, and new to the scene is Trackmania Turbo. Then Xbox 360 games, or the Xbox 360 game is Nights into Dreams. Don't forget that one is backwards compatible, so make sure to grab it either way. If you're an iTunes user, please go there and find our show. Give us a 5-star rating if you would, please. The more 5-star ratings we get, the more we get bumped up in the rankings over there. And so this is another way you can help support the show. Just costs you a couple clicks, couple typings, and that little 5-star click. And as we mentioned earlier, we are back, supposedly, with our Amazon affiliate link business here. So if you're going to be making any purchases this holiday season or anytime, just please make sure to use our affiliate link. Go to our website, thisxboxlife.com, and click on the Amazon banner logo thing on the page over there. I believe it has video games listed. Most of the time it's like a rolling image. It goes through a whole bunch of stuff. You don't need to buy just video games in there. You can buy anything. Just use that link and then search for whatever you want.
Cool.
And so that's a great way to support the show. It does not cost you anything extra, but we get a teeny tiny little finder's fee for sending you their way. So I believe that's all I've got.
Cool. Thank you, Drano and Cornbread, for the subs. Thank you, Cornbread, for the bits. We appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who's been subbing and resubbing,
Yes,
and donating and being Patreons. You guys, we really, really do appreciate it. It helps keep the lights on. You know, I know our hosting and stuff is getting ready to roll around, and you know, doing a show like this isn't free, but with the help from you guys, it does help us greatly. So
yeah, and also one other benefit of linking your Twitch and Amazon thing or whatever, however you get that thing. I even forgot what I did. Is you get free stuff. Like,
yeah, you do.
They just had
Assassin's Creed and South Park. You got free outfits for both those games.
Yeah, because I did the Assassin's Creed one, and there was actually a fair amount of stuff that you got with that. I was surprised. It was like 5-6 things you got.
Yeah.
It's nothing huge. It's like skins and like little weapons and things like that. But you know,
five loot crates from Overwatch. You get some loot chests from Heroes of the Storm, Madden 18, Warframe, South Park, Assassin's Creed. And what you do is on Twitch, you'll see the little crown up there by your name on the right-hand side. You click that and you get started, and all you do is you link your Twitch account with your Amazon Prime, and then boom. And then if you hit anybody's sub buttons, you know, your drop-down list for sub, it'll say sub with your Twitch Prime sub. And that's a free sub that you get to give to somebody that you like. It's no cost to you. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it says last chance for Overwatch loot ends November 10th. So act quickly.
Yeah, just don't. Oh, what's he say? Yeah, just don't sell it, guys. If a game is trash, tell us. Oh yeah, we'll tell you. I don't get paid by anybody. I guess I get paid by you. So yes, I will.
You get paid by your employer, just like I do.
Yeah, that's who I get paid for. As far as this podcast and stuff like that, we will always tell you the truth. We will not church it up or however you want to say it. You're gonna get the truth out of us. So we don't get paid. We don't get sponsored. We have affiliations, but there's nothing in our affiliations that says we have to lie to people we talk to and podcast for. So we're here for you guys. But, all right, that's all I got. We will be back next week, I think, with an unboxing and stuff for Mark, if we can get that all set up. But everybody, enjoy your Xbox One X's. Be here next week. Send us the stuff you like. Send us voicemails. Send us emails. Let's try to make it all about Xbox One X and what you've done. Tell us what you did first, what you like, what you don't like. You know, help us review this new console that is coming out. I think it'll be a lot of fun next week. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I'm Brun BJ Swick 33.
And I'm Rob, also known as Pusar. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep. Good night, guys.
Good night.